to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox, and we have a little special thing we're going to do today. We're going to get some other people who are important in my life, get their perspectives on preparedness. So with that, cue the intro. Whoa, goes this way. Whoa. All right. These are my children. Obviously, they're not kids anymore. Kat, why are you so short?
My chair is...
You're actually tall.
She's got the different chair.
Okay, so let's just start with you. Just your name, your age, marital status, whatever you want to say, and then we'll just kind of go across, do that real quick so people know who you are.
I'm Kat, I'm 26, I'm married, and I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I'm a teacher.
Joseph Fox, the 7th. I am married. I'm father of 2, be father of 3 in January, and I'm also a teacher.
I'm Janelle Fox, I'm 23, I am not married and looking. My favorite color is red, and I'm currently a woman
traveler?
of leisure and
Woman
a traveler.
of leisure.
All right, so I've got this channel, and it's all about preparedness, and the people who watch me kind of know what I think because I say it over and over and over again. So I guess the first question I'd like to ask y'all is, what was it like growing up in the house with a prepper, and are you guys preppers now? We'll just kind of keep it short, but we'll do the best we can. Anybody can go first.
Let's do oldest to youngest.
Okay.
That's easy.
So just like anything else, when you're being raised, you feel like it's normal. And so it's only been in the last couple of years that I realize everyone's dad doesn't teach them about a cigar-shaped like outlook and bounding Overwatch and hasty ambushes and stuff. And also, everyone doesn't have like lots of food. We used to joke that if we ever ran out of ketchup, it would be an emergency in the Fox house. But, you know, you just think it's normal. And I was blessed to marry a lady whose family also had a huge pantry, so we continue that.
Kat?
So, agree with everything on there, and then ways that I've noticed it is presents that my dad gives are not like presents that other people's dads give. So I'm a teacher, and at school very often I whip out my multi-tool for whatever reason, peeling this, using the screwdriver for that, whatever. And my students were like, oh, why do you have that? Because normally it's something only like ranch dudes have. And I'm like, oh, my dad gave it to me. You know, he gives flashlights and knives and like things like this. This is how you know he loves you. And like, yes, I have lots of them, and this is the one I use the most. And they all look at me strange, and right, same thing. You realize like, oh, everyone doesn't know this. Recently had a training I did for my job about being aware of shady people. And everything in it, I was like, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know. And then afterwards, there were all these people walking around going, I never even thought of that, you know, level yellow of alertness. What is that? And I was like, I've known that since I was 10. So...
Yeah, so I agree with all of them. I would say the way it most clearly manifested growing up was that we'd go camping a lot, which was a lot of fun. And
cool kid camping.
Yeah.
With fires.
Yes. Well, I'm getting to that. And you know, Dad had like backpacks and stuff, and he normally had like an office with some cool stuff in it. But right, you kind of think everyone's parents are like that. But growing up, yeah, everybody else's dad's kind of lame, and it makes it seriously, and it makes it a lot harder to respect like a lot of men when you meet them, and they don't know how to do the stuff that I know how to do because my dad taught me, and I'm like, you should know this, and this became really clear, kind of how different upbringings were at college and now into my young adult life, going camping with like friends or having fires or cookouts or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Men my age, and of course women too, they have no idea how to start a fire. They try and use like lighter fluid and like a log, and I'm like, what are you doing? My respect drops through the floor. But yeah, it's useful. I think growing up with a prepper father, you know, we just know how to do a lot of stuff that most people don't even think about, and then you watch them try and do it, and it's like it's comical to try and watch people do stuff that we've been doing since we were 7.
And as far as like whether I'm a prepper or not now,
that's where we're going. So that's a great thing. To what degree are you a prepper? What do you think?
So I didn't even know. I didn't know we were having this video. I got my mainstream prepper shirt on.
Right.
And I wear it because it was one of my friend's companies, but there's a practical aspect to a level of preparedness that you can have. And so I would say that because of my upbringing and of reasons that I probably am like in the top however many percent of prepared individuals in America. But I mean, I live in a regular house in a neighborhood that I rent, and I don't have like a bunker or anything.
Can I show your backyard?
Yeah, go ahead. If
You can keep talking.
Yeah, if you can see that van over there, though, I have a van now, and I keep buckets of food in the back, and I keep basically camping gear back there because it's easy, and because if I have to, I can just get in and drive it away. The whole idea of having buckets of food isn't only for like when the zombie apocalypse happens, though. The other, I don't know, earlier this summer, we were moving and from one job to another one, and we had expenses and stuff, and basically money was somewhat tight, and we didn't have any rice. And I really like rice, and so we went out to the garage and we got one of the buckets of rice, and then we had, 35 pounds of rice available, and we're still eating the rice now. And so there is that practical aspect of when you need something and you don't have it, you don't have to go to the store or you don't have to do without. You have the stuff. Prep what you use what you prep.
Cat.
I would agree with that where, right, I don't have a bunker and I don't have like a ton of flashy gear, but when I'm walking around or going places, my brain is always like, how could this be useful in the future? So just like on rice, we recently bought some 30-pound thing of rice because it was super on sale, so per pound it was very cheap, and now I have like a ton of rice, just chilling in a cabinet in my house, in addition to other things. Or like whenever I drive places, automatic things so you don't realize you're doing, I'm always thinking like, oh, like that's a food plan, or like, I bet there's water down there. Or like if I walk by water, it's like, how clean is it? How could I make a filter? So for me, the prepper thing, I have, an amount of prep stuff that is there, tangible, touchable, I have it. But I would say the more valuable part is just having the mindset of always thinking, how can I use this? How can I use that? That's something that I do want.
Is that a weed or is it edible?
Right.
Let's flip our chairs around because you guys are like looking like your shadows. No, just flip them. Just spin them right around.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to bring yours over there for me?
Just right next to each other so you're tight. There we go. All right, Janelle. Oh, now people can see you.
Hey!
Hey, here
We
we go.
do exist.
Welcome back. How much do I prep? Not as much as these two, I would say, because one of our marriage gifts in our family is buckets of grain and rice and everything. And
It's actually the moving out of the house gift. It's just that they got married and moved out.
okay, same time, sure. And I haven't done that yet. I live off-grid, like certain people whose video channels you may watch.
Do you want
And,
to pump your channel?
Sure, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Neo Hermitess. I don't post all that often, and I'm trying to get better about it, but just check it out. You can go follow me. I post occasionally. I talk about prepper stuff, and I talk about other stuff, and you get to see pets and everything.
But anyway, you're prepping and you.
Sure, but I would say probably the most preppy thing that I do, is I have a bug out bag. I have a bob, and I just went through it recently for a camping trip, and it's really useful because I have everything that I could need in there. For example, going on a hike overnight. I have a tent, I have a tarp, I have food in that thing, I have all-weather clothes, I have multiple knives and fire starters.
And you just used it last night, right?
Yeah, or 2 nights ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
I used it, so I didn't have to go to the store and get anything, and if something terrible were to happen, I could grab that thing and go. And I already live off-grid, so I mean, it's not like I'd be like, oh no, I'm stuck in a city and I suddenly have no power and can't use anything. I have the whole setup. But as far as like stocking food, no, not so much. But every
You've
once-
got a dad that takes care of
well,
that for
and
you
I
right
was
now.
gonna say, every once in a while I'll do stuff kind of on my own, like picking up more ammo or something. But I live very close with Pastor Joe Fox and Sister Kate, so I'm pretty much taken care of.
So, feelings on firearms for people your age? Because you guys
All right,
are all,
oldest,
you
youngest.
guys are young. You
Yeah,
think you're
so,
old, but you're
here's
young.
the deal, how I feel about firearms. I'll try to keep it succinct. Having a weapon on you is like a seatbelt because you don't anticipate needing your seatbelt or you wouldn't go driving. Like if you knew you were going to get T-boned, you would just stay home for a while. And in the moment that you need your seatbelt, it's too late to like, oh, my car is flipping through the air. oh, I'm really glad I didn't get flown out the window. And it's the same deal. I mean, it's the same deal. I don't want to be a victim. Oh, victimhood is a currency nowadays. But I don't want to be like a real victim. I don't want to be the guy who gets shot or whatever in the robbery. I'm not looking to be a hero, but I feel like if there's bad guys over there and shooting, I can like tactically withdraw out the back door or whatever. And so I feel like you should carry a firearm on you, and you should know how to use it. That's the thing. Like, you can't just buy a gun. I got into a discussion with someone from Europe about how you can get rid of guns and get rid of people killing each other, and it's just not true. And then the idea that it's super easy to kill someone with a gun is not true either. If you were standing at that door and I aimed just to the left of you, you would be alive. So you got to know what you're doing. But yeah, carry one. Keep calm and carry one.
Kat, what do you think?
I agree with all those things, and I would further emphasize you need to know what you're doing with it. If you just have it, it's no good.
It's not a magic wand.
Right.
Right, it's not a magic wand. And especially for young people our age, it seems that you either are familiar with guns or you are not familiar at all.
And you guys all live in a rural area, right?
Right. And the people who are not familiar at all tend to have a lot of false beliefs about guns, how they work, all those things. And I would say if you're one of those people, I don't know if you watch this channel, do some reading, talk to some people, not the crazy ones who are like, I have a shed full of 50 things, come touch them. Those are probably not a good source to learn from, but definitely learn things because it's a tool, it's a useful tool, and if you use it well, then
Sign up for Viking Pistol 1 and learn to use your firearm.
Nice plug. Janelle.
Yeah, so obviously I agree with everything that they said, and I would say that a huge thing about having a pistol, other than knowing how to use it and everything else, is knowing basic or advanced responsible safety with your firearm. Because if you're, people our age and you carry or whatever, and you're spending the night at a friend's house, let's say, or something, they may see it and they may want to, touch it or whatever. You need to know how to get everything apart and how to responsibly show that to them. Or if you go somewhere and there's children in the house, you need to be thinking about that and where can you put it out of reach. You can't just have one even and know how to use it. You need to know how to store it.
right, it's not a game.
Right, it's not a set it and forget it thing. You need to be aware of it and what's going on.
Right.
And thinking about cases where you might need to use it, just being aware, I guess, that you have it.
All right.
Common sense.
I'm almost out of battery.
Okay.
So does anybody have any final words for the people? We good?
Grow up
Yeah,
to be-
knowledge is power. Schoolhouse Rock, knowledge is power. All those things that she said you can do, you can learn these things. You can teach yourself or you can find someone to teach you. It's fine. A basic level of preparedness is always a good idea.
Right.
If you get snowed in for 3 days, you can eat food instead of starve for 3 days.
Right.
And have candles.
Yeah, and
Have candles.
Right.
Right. They say that because I thrift candles, I burn them down, I save the wax, and then I make more candles.
There was a freak snowstorm where I moved from on May 1st because of all the extra global warming running around. We had no power all weekend. No one in the entire town or county had lights except for us because I had lanterns and stuff and I turned them on and we had that and I burnt a fire and we cooked food on our propane and it was fun. Our level of comfort was the same. No one else's was.
All right. Yes.
No, that's...
Oh, I
You good?
have quick closing comments. Education's very important, both traditional and in skills, things that we've been talking about. What do you do in your spare time? You could be playing video games, or you could be reading up a book about edible plants, or you could be out hiking and testing out your gear and everything else. So
Learning how to make a fire.
yeah, learning is good. You can do it lifelong, and you should do it, and it can be fun.
And practice is good.
Practice is good.
All right.
Shalom, y'all.
See you out there.
Bye.